Welcome back to WandaVision. God, I was trying to rub my eye before this stupid thing started, and then I just wanted to rub my eye again. Anyways, I'm a mess. I worked a graveyard last night. It's the afternoon now. Anyways, I wanted to get this reaction out before all the spoilers come in. So luckily, I've been avoiding them pretty well. I have some theories based on what people have, like, tiptoed around because people just can't shut the fuck up about stupid shows. But I haven't actually been any for real spoilers. So anyways, WandaVision episode 5 on a very special episode. And the title makes me think of like the series episode, you know, if it like I think of, I don't know, like I don't really watch sitcoms a lot, but I just that the title just sounds to me like on a very special episode, you know, Wanda starts getting into drugs and Vision has to talk her out, you know, like something like that, you know, like it feels like a Dare episode or something. So I'm curious what that's gonna be. Is it gonna be like an intervention for Wanda now? Because last episode we saw that Vision was sort of getting these ideas that maybe things aren't the way they should be. So yeah, I'm just curious about like what's gonna happen. And also if we are going back to the more sitcom-y version, are we going to see sword and stuff in action still, or is it going to be kind of like flip-flopping between the two in the same episode? Just how is that all going to work out? So without further ado, let's get into the episode and find out.
Babies.
Girl.
And go to sleep. Just need some help.
Hiya, kids.
Oh, Agnes.
Agnes, I was just fluffing this pillow with my face.
Oh. Do you want me to take that again?
Oh. 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 Oh.
I'm sorry?
You want me to hold the babies? Should we just take it from the top?
God.
Fussy babies meet buns of steel. We dare you to stay awake.
Sleep.
They're empty.
Oh.
Then where are the twins?
I'm.
Daddy?
They're.
Kids.
They're definitely setting them up for Young Avengers.
Well, hi.
So tired. No.
It was grief.
Yeah.
You can sit up
Because
now.
she's been through so much shit.
Great.
She's made up this world where she can have whatever she
Am I
wants.
cleared?
Nothing wrong with the machine,
Those are blank.
like I said.
She got powers?
Morning, and earliest tracking had her using her powers against the Avengers. Is that correct?
Right before she earned their trust and became one herself.
Lagos and Germany, we all know how that turned out. Thanks, Jimmy. Until very recently, it was the top secret location
Whoa.
of the Vision's corpse.
So she is just puppeting fucking corpse around. Oh my god.
All right, that's it for now. Let's
Wow.
work the problem, people.
I still don't think she's bad though.
Dismissed.
Like at that point,
But how did she even do it?
please.
With exactly the item we require.
Uh-oh.
My kitchen
He's
window told me
learning.
someone got a new pooch. Did you name him yet?
Are they gonna age up then?
Wait, now hang on there a minute, you young whippersnappers.
Oh my god.
Close.
Well, I'd argue that Captain Marvel came close.
Her powers came from an Infinity Stone too, right?
We are not talking about her. We are talking about
Sword.
Oh.
Top secret communique. Authenticate. Dr. Darcy Lewis findings regarding Maximus.
No.
High levels of radiation present at perimeter. None of it is real.
Oh. What?
Please help me.
This laugh track needs to stop.
Technology.
Ooh. Not the kids at their own minds.
he needed a distraction.
From what?
Ooh.
From us?
No way.
Is that her? Oh. Please, Wanda, calm down.
Wanda, I didn't know the drones were armed.
She wants a happy life.
Stand down! Wanda! You can fix anything, Mom. Fix it dead.
Ooh.
What? You can do that?
Ooh. No. Mess.
I'm going to bed.
No, we're not done here. What is the Maximoff anomaly?
The what? Know what you're talking about.
Stop lying to me!
Why you gotta fly? Oh my god.
Oh.
It is wrong.
Oh god, now what? Are you sure?
You don't believe me.
Who is it? Who is Red alert, bitch! Who the fuck is it? Is it? Is it really? Is it what I think it is? They're doing it! Matt Shackman. Sir. What has he done? Not me opening up another tab even though I have a tab open. I'm tired. This man's has been directing every episode. Is he doing the whole show? That's my question. Congratulations, sir. So that was, again, I had been seeing some stuff online. No one directly said it, so I'm glad for that. But come on, people. As a culture, we need to step up our game with spoilers, okay? And by that I mean, just shut the fuck up. Don't say anything. I had a feeling. What was it specifically? I think it was just a lot of. So here's the thing. First, there was leaks about. It's not Evan Peters, right? Is that his name? There was leaks that he was on set. Yeah, Evan Peters. Okay. For last week. Last week there was promos or there was leaks for episodes 5 and 6 that he was in the show. I think I saw a picture, but it looked like he was like Days of Future Past, version. And then this week, last night, when people started watching it, the spoiler, they didn't say anything, but they said it was a lot of like, I told you so, Kevin Feige, you liar. It was like, they said it would never happen. It was all like kind of like, you won't believe what just happened. And so in my mind, I was like, they're probably going to do it. So since we're talking about him, I'm going to bring back to my X-Men point. I still don't get how that... She recast him, sure. I guess they're setting up truly that she just creates the mutants. Which... I don't know how to feel about that. Because I think it goes against a long tradition, especially with the sort of heads of the mutant kind. I feel like that takes out Apocalypse completely. I feel like that takes out Xavier and Magneto, specifically because they are sort of the first generation. There's obviously older mutants, and depending on what comic line you're reading, there's ancient mutants, but we're not even getting into all that. Specifically just talking about like the big names. We've got characters like, again, Apocalypse, Magneto, and Xavier. 2 different generations, but still, those sort of like almost pillars and cornerstones of the X-Men and mutants. So I don't know how to feel about that. I get that recasting Quicksilver in that way is a quick shorthand into jump-starting mutants and all that. But again, we go into a problem of if they are the children of Magneto, they can't use him because they specifically just said who the parents were, and it wasn't Eric Lenscher. So that takes him out. And again, that kind of goes with what I'm trying to say now, is that they can't use him because it doesn't make sense if there's an older generation. Even Wolverine to an extent, you know, you can't really contextualize him unless you give him a whole backstory. And I guess what they're doing is making Wanda so powerful that she can do that, that she can literally put them into the story. Which, again, I don't know if that's what I want. I'd rather something more natural than this. You know, I can see a reverse House of M where she creates the metagene, the mutant gene, whatever. I guess the easiest way to do it would be not necessarily adding in new people to the world, but making people that already exist into mutants, mutating them, if you will. So like, there is already a Logan in the world running around, but he's normal. And then after the events of this show, he becomes Wolverine. You know, there is already an Aurora, whatever her last name is. I was going to say Aurora Monroe, but I don't think that's right. You know, Aurora Storm. You know, she's already in Wakanda somewhere, right? And after the events of the show, she gets her powers. You know, I can see that happening. I think it would be too weird if we've already had a snap and a re-snap, whatever, the blip. I think it would be just a tinge too weird logistically to insert additional people into this universe. You know, just for the laws of like equilibrium and stuff. You know, if the whole point of the Infinity War arc was there has to be an equilibrium and, you know, the resources are dwindling and stuff, it would be in character for Wanda to disregard that and add more people to the equation and, you know, Thanos was right kind of thing. But I feel like that's a lesson not learned. And in which case, if it does happen, I'm expecting it to be undone somehow. Since this is sort of part of a trilogy with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. I don't know. There's just a lot going, like, there's a lot of speculation now and a lot of possibilities opening up because of that casting now. Just speaking more specifically for the character, I'm glad they have Quicksilver back. I don't really care about him too much. I hope they can do something interesting with him. It's weird because, again, specifically casting him, it's going to be, do the Fox films count? You know, do they matter at all? Because if so, then again, how do we rectify that? How do we make that copacetic and merge with what's already been in the MCU? And again, all these things about like there's no ancient mutants and how does that work out? So there's that side of things. If it's not specifically that Quicksilver from the X-Men films and it's just a new face to signal the start of something new, then God, I honestly, like, I'm getting lost in my circular discussion of this because I don't even know what I'm trying to say now. That's how confusing it is. So there's two possibilities. Possibility one, he's literally the same Quicksilver from the Fox universe, in which case he's bringing all the baggage, he's bringing all the characters with him. The other possibility is he's simply they recast him from Aaron Taylor Johnson to signify that something strange is happening. It's a more broader version of like something's happening rather than specifically the Fox characters are canon. I don't know. I like I said, I can't really think about what that means right now, but there is like an alternative version where they simply cast him because they just wanted to sort of signal to the audience, hey, something new is happening. Not necessarily that it's the mutant. I don't know. Again, I'm gonna stop talking about it because it's actually made my brain hurt. I'm still hesitant to believe that there is an outside force. People are saying Mephisto. People are saying, you know, there's some sort of puppeteer, I guess, for Wanda. I personally, so far, still am in the camp of Wanda is doing this. She is just turning evil. Of her own accord, you know, like I said, from her loss. And it's pretty explicitly stated here in this episode. You know, Monaco saying that she felt grief and stuff. The way that these kids are doing whatever she wants to an extent, you know. We're gonna get into that in a second, actually. But yeah, the just the dialogue she had with Sword. It's obvious that she is creating this reality because of the pain and painful events she's gone through in her life, and she wants a family and she wants normalcy, right? It's pretty explicitly stated at this point. So I feel like it's a lot of, and the way that she's like not really, she's denying stuff to Vision, but she's not like, I don't know, she's just taking such ownership of it that I feel like it's just simply her powers are getting out of her control to an extent. You know, I think it's what she wants deep down in her heart, but I don't think it's necessarily intentional. Again, I don't know. I'm speaking in circles again. So I think she is the source, I'll say. Obviously, she's the source. I don't believe there's somebody mind controlling her. I think it's just she doesn't realize how powerful she is, and her simple desire was, I want to, you know, be in this fantasy world, turned into subconsciously kidnapping people, subconsciously, you know, actually getting Vision's body. You know, I think she kind of, I think in like deep down, she sort of deluded herself into believing that everything is fake when in reality it's all real. You know, I think that's what I'm trying to say, is that she thinks it's fake. Like, you know, everyone else kind of thought it was just an illusion, and, you know, the people are fake, and, you know, they're all figments of her imagination. But in reality, she has whisked these people away from their own lives and put them in her show for her benefit. And she's kind of like in denial about that, and she's like, I just want a happy life, you know, whatever. I think that's what it is. Agnes, loved her this episode. Just the breaking. I feel like everything is just breaking around, and I'm curious how long we're going to continue breaking and when we are going to hit the breaking point and finally collapse it all. Because I believe there's 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's four episodes left. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, how much longer are we going to continue the charade that we are in this sitcom? And when is she going to start, like, you know, straight up saying, no, this is wrong. You go here, and like she finally snaps. Because it's gonna happen, you know. I mean, it's already happening, but like, there's still the pretense, especially with now Quicksilver showing up. What does that do? And now we can get into the kids, I guess. They are sort of able to resist her power, it seems like. And I've said some other episode that you know, especially Wiccan, I feel like he's gonna be strong enough to disobey her. The way that they're aging the kids up, and again, they're sort of have their own will. It feels like, because Wanda. A lot of the times this episode, Wanda was like, "Oh no, whatever shall I do?" And then someone comes in, something happens, changes, right? To me, it feels like the kids aging up isn't entirely her. She tried to use her powers on them to make them stop crying. They didn't stop crying. They aged up at a convenient point for her, but it wasn't necessarily her explicit choice, I think. And then, you know, with the dog thing, I guess it could be argued that it was her decision and her desire for them to be old enough so that they could have the dogs, and Vision was the one that didn't want the dog. But I don't know, it just feels like they have a little bit of agency, especially if, like, they're talking about dead people and stuff and how that's not fair. I feel like that's not stuff that she would want, and she would try to rewrite them or something. So I don't know, I just feel like they have some agency and some power. Curious to see how that manifests. And again, they're, if they age up like one more time, Young Avengers, let's go. I don't know. It's, and then, okay, lastly, Lagos. Why does that name sound familiar? Did they say it earlier this episode before the commercial? I don't remember. I don't know what Lagos is. Because I'm thinking like logos, like pathos, ethos, logos, but it's Lagos specifically, like lakes in Spanish. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean. So if you guys know, please let me know. I'm curious. But yeah, I'll be the first to admit, I wasn't really digging this show in the way that everyone else is. Everyone else is like, this is the craziest show in the world. And then, you know, I've been like, I've seen Doom Patrol. Okay. I've seen other shows. I know what can happen in TV. But I think this episode really hit me in the way that it's hitting everyone else. I think it's really finally starting to captivate me in that way of, you know, the real mystery is starting to unfold. And I think that's what's really getting me. You know, I wasn't really a fan of, you know, I think also it was a fact of, because I had seen, you know, discussions and stuff, and I know who characters are, you know, like I knew who Monica was the whole time. So I think that didn't really get me. And then again, I had sort of this idea, this theory that Wanda was already the one making things up. So it wasn't really shocking to me that she was the one doing it. But this episode, I think, really hit me because it was stuff that I wasn't expecting to happen. So like the twins actually aging up. It was something I thought about, but I didn't think it was going to actually happen. You know, Quicksilver showing up. It was something that I had in my mind, but it still caught me off guard because in the way they did it. Very excited to see where he goes going forward. Is he going to remain in the show? Is he going, you know, the show, both shows, in universe, I guess. Is it just a very special episode and, you know, he's going to be a one-off character? Yeah, Vision, again, starting to realize what's happening. And again, I'm just waiting for this breaking point now. But yeah, this episode really got me. I'm really excited to see what's going forward. And, whew, it's getting me. It's getting there, dude. It's getting there. Thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys like about this episode? Who's Lagos? What is Lagos? Please tell me. I'm very... I feel like I should know it, but I can't think of it. Does Monica have powers? Are they teasing that? Because they took the scans of her and then they were like, oh, something, we had to take them again. So was that like residual energy from Wanda? Because they had obviously explained later that her Kevlar and stuff was transformed into this disco outfit. So is that all it was trying to like foreshadow, or was it foreshadowing she got some electromagnetic stuff going on? Also, the stuff with Carol, they said you know, they brought up Captain Marvel or whatever, and then Monica was like, let's not talk about her. So, again, I haven't seen Captain Marvel, so I don't know what's going on with that, but very intriguing stuff. Yeah, just a lot of teases and hints and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is what I want. This is what I like. Anyways, I'm going to really wrap up for this time. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode. I'm hyped. I'm officially hyped. Yeah, let's go.